Chapter 11, Traveling Adventures. What animals do you think we will see? Marcus asked Brian. Dad was holding revival meetings in a farming community far away from home, and the family was excited to be able to go along with him. Brian thought for a bit. I hope they have puppies, or maybe horses. Marcus nodded his head in agreement. Me too. When the Thursday evening service was over, the family was taken to a church member's farm for the night. The next morning, the children's eyes grew big as they watched the teenage boys milking the cows. So that's where the milk comes from that we buy in the store. Brian could hardly believe his eyes. Saturday morning found the family visiting another farm. This time they watched the newborn calves trying to walk on their wobbly legs. I want to be a farmer someday, Brian announced. Marcus wrinkled his nose. Not me. I don't like the way it smells. On the way home Sunday night, Marcus started the conversation. The animals were a lot of fun, but the best thing about the weekend was the macaroni and cheese that we ate at almost every meal. Diane joined in from the back seat. I'm glad we could learn so much about farming. God wants us to live in the city where there aren't cows and horses, but I'm glad he gave us a chance to see those animals this weekend. Even the baby pigs were really cute. The sky started to darken as they drove along, and the wind grew stronger. Dad gripped the steering wheel as they started to cross the long Mackinac Bridge. The children could feel the wind pushing the car from side to side. Angela left out a big sigh once they reached the other side. I was really scared. I thought the wind was going to push our car right into the water. No fear with Mom in the car. She weighs pretty much, Brian commented. Brian, Dad scolded, you should never talk about a woman's weight. Later that night, they stopped at a service station to use the restrooms. The cashier was busy talking to Dad. What? You came across the Mackinac Bridge? Well, you sure are lucky. I heard on the news that there have been some accidents on that bridge today due to the wind. The children smiled at each other. It's not luck, Diane whispered to Angela. It was God who took care of us. They all piled back in the van, and soon the children had fallen asleep. Dad quietly turned to look at Mom. We have a problem. The headlights keep getting dimmer. I wonder if the car will quit running soon. Mom gasped loudly. Then she thought of the children sleeping, so she quieted her voice. What will we do? It's after midnight, and we have a long way to go till we reach home. We'll keep driving until we can't, and keep praying about it. As the night dragged on, Dad's eyes became tired. Do you mind driving for a bit? He wearily rubbed his face. Yes, I'll take a turn, agreed Mom. Dad pushed on the brakes to slow the car and pulled off to the side of the road, but once again the lights dimmed. They managed to get off the road, and Mom quickly hurried over to the driver's seat while Dad continued to rev the engine so the car would not lose all its power. Mom nervously peeked back at the children as she started driving and breathed a sigh of relief to see they were still sleeping. Thank God we are home, Mom exhaled with relief. They turned off the car once they had pulled into their parking space. I'm going to see if it restarts. Dad turned the key forward again. The car was completely dead. The children groggily slid out, and Marcus remarked after a big yawn, the farm was nice, but it sure smells better around here. The car needed a new alternator. They decided to fix it, even though the car was getting older. There was no money to buy a newer car. Although Mom and Dad thought it might be their last trip in that old car, it faithfully took them on many more preaching trips.